The boy who knew too much, a secret that could kill. In a small Ohio town, the courthouse buzzed with tension. The trial of Daniel Reed, accused of murdering his girlfriend, Emily Carter, had everyone on edge. Reporters scribbled notes, townsfolk whispered, and lawyers shuffled papers. The courtroom was packed, every seat taken, the air heavy with anticipation. At the front, Judge Margaret Hensley, a sharp-eyed woman with gray streaks in her hair, sat tall behind her desk. Her gavel rested in her hand, ready to keep order in this serious case. Suddenly, a clear, young voice cut through the noise. "Stop the trial. I know something important." The room froze. Heads turned, eyes wide. Standing in the middle of the aisle was a boy, no older than 10, with messy brown hair and bright green eyes. His sneakers squeaked as he shifted nervously, but his face showed determination. This was Lucas Hayes, a kid from the neighborhood who loved riding his bike and eating ice cream with his friends. Today, though, he wasn't just a kid. He was about to change everything. Judge Hensley's eyebrows shot up. She lowered her gavel, her voice firm. "Young man, this is no place for children. Someone, take him out." But Lucas stood his ground. "You can't make me leave. I know who really did it. And it's not him." He pointed at Daniel Reed, the man on trial. Daniel, thin and tired looking, stared back, his eyes wide with shock. The courtroom exploded into whispers and gasps. Reporters leaned forward, pens flying across their notebooks. The prosecutor, Mr. Thompson, looked stunned, while Daniel's lawyer, Ms. Clara Evans, seemed curious. "Order." Judge Hensley banged her gavel, her face stern but intrigued. "Boy, what's your name, and what do you know?" Lucas swallowed hard, his heart racing. "My name's Lucas. I saw something in the park. It wasn't Daniel. I know who hurt Emily." The room went silent, every eye on him. Before anyone could say more, the courtroom doors swung open. A man in a dark jacket burst in, his face pale. "Tommy," he shouted, calling Lucas by a nickname. Lucas flinched but didn't turn away. Judge Hensley raised a hand. "Enough. Take this boy to my office. We'll talk there." A bailiff gently guided Lucas out, his sneakers squeaking on the polished floor. He glanced back at the quiet courtroom, his green eyes full of both fear and courage. As the door closed behind him, Lucas knew his life was about to change. Lucas wasn't always in the middle of big events. He lived in a cozy house with his mom, Sarah, and their scruffy dog, Max. He spent his days playing soccer, building forts, and biking around town. His mom always said he was curious, always noticing little details others missed. But one summer day, everything turned upside down. It was a warm afternoon, the kind where the sun makes everything glow. Lucas was riding his bike through Riverside Park, the breeze ruffling his hair. He loved the park, the tall trees, the sparkling lake, the paths that twisted like a maze. As he pedaled near the water, he noticed two people by the lake. A man and a woman were arguing, their voices sharp. Lucas was too far to hear every word, but he saw the man's angry gestures and the woman's worried face. She kept shaking her head, stepping back. Then, the man grabbed her arm, pulling her toward a dark green car parked nearby. She tried to pull away, shouting, but he was stronger. Lucas's stomach twisted. He wanted to help, but he was just a kid, frozen on his bike. The man shoved the woman into the car and sped off. Lucas's heart pounded. He noticed something shiny on the ground where they'd been, a small keychain shaped like a daisy. It glinted in the sunlight, catching his eye. He didn't pick it up, but he couldn't forget it. That night, he told his mom what he saw. Sarah, busy making dinner, patted his head. It was probably just a fight. "Sweetie, couples argue sometimes," but Lucas wasn't so sure. The image of the woman's scared face stuck with him, haunting his dreams. A week later, Lucas was watching TV when a news report flashed on. Emily Carter, a young woman from town, had been found dead. The police arrested Daniel Reed, her boyfriend. The news showed Daniel's face, and Lucas's heart sank. Daniel looked sad, not like the angry man from the park. The report said Emily and Daniel had argued the night she disappeared, and his fingerprints were on her things. Everyone in town thought Daniel was guilty, but Lucas kept thinking about the man by the lake, the green car, the daisy keychain. Something didn't add up. As the trial got closer, Lucas's nightmares grew worse. He dreamed of Emily's face, pale and lifeless, and the woman in the car, whose face he couldn't quite see. He felt guilty for not doing something that day in the park. Finally, he decided he had to tell someone what he saw. He didn't know how, but he couldn't stay quiet. His chance came unexpectedly. Sarah was called for jury duty at the courthouse. Lucas begged to go with her. "I just want to see what it's like," he said, his green eyes pleading. Sarah sighed but agreed, making him promise to sit quietly in the back. Lucas nodded, but deep down, he knew he might not keep that promise. On the day of the trial, the courthouse was packed. Lucas sat in the back, his hands sweaty. He watched as Mr. Thompson, the prosecutor, laid out the case against Daniel. He talked about the fingerprints, the argument, how everything pointed to Daniel. The evidence sounded strong, but Lucas's gut told him it was wrong. He kept seeing the man from the park, the green car, the daisy keychain. He couldn't stay silent anymore. Without thinking, Lucas jumped to his feet. "Stop the trial. I know something important," his voice echoed, surprising even himself. The room froze, and all eyes turned to him. Sarah gasped, reaching for him, but Lucas kept going. "I know who really did it. And it's not Daniel." Judge Hensley ordered him to her office, and Lucas felt a mix of fear and relief as he was led away. In the judge's office, a small room with wooden walls and a big desk, Lucas sat across from Judge Hensley. Sarah stood behind him, her face pale. The judge's sharp eyes studied him. "All right, Lucas, tell me everything." Lucas took a deep breath, his voice shaky but clear. "I was in the park by the lake. I saw a man arguing with a woman. He grabbed her and put her in a dark green car. She was scared. I saw a daisy keychain on the ground. I don't think Daniel did it." Judge Hensley leaned forward. "Did you tell anyone else?" Lucas nodded. "I told my mom, but she thought it was nothing." The judge's face softened slightly. "Describe everything you saw." Lucas explained every detail, the man's angry gestures, the woman's fear, the green car with a scratch on the bumper, the daisy keychain. Ms. Evans, Daniel's lawyer, listened closely, her eyes thoughtful. Mr. Thompson scoffed. "He's just a kid. We have real evidence." But Judge Hensley raised a hand. "We'll look into this, but we need more proof. A boy's story isn't enough." Lucas's heart sank. He'd hoped his words would be enough to help Daniel, but he realized this was just the start. That night, Lucas couldn't sleep. He felt like his words had put a target on his back. Lying in bed, he heard a noise outside, a rustling, then footsteps. His heart raced. He grabbed his phone and whispered to 911, reporting someone outside. Sarah rushed into his room, her face scared but strong. They huddled together until the police arrived. The footsteps were gone, but Lucas felt uneasy. Someone didn't want him talking. The next day, Lucas decided to find more clues. He biked back to Riverside Park, his eyes scanning the ground near the lake. There, half buried in the dirt, was the daisy keychain. He picked it up, his hands trembling. It was just like the one he'd seen in a photo of Emily. Attached to her bag, his mind raced. Could the man in the park be someone else from Emily's life? Back home, Lucas searched online. He found an old article about Emily's ex-boyfriend, Nathan Brooks. They dated for 2 years before breaking up months before her death. Lucas clicked on Nathan's social media and froze. There was a photo of Nathan leaning against a dark green car, just like the one from the park. Scrolling further, Lucas found a strange post from Nathan. "People don't know the truth. Sometimes things happen, and you can't stop them." It sounded suspicious. Before he could think more, an email popped up on his phone. The subject read, "Stop or you'll be sorry." Attached was a blurry photo of Sarah outside their house. Lucas's blood ran cold. Someone was watching them. He showed the email to Sarah, who called the police. Officer Lopez, who'd helped before, came quickly. Lucas told her about the car, the keychain, and Nathan. Officer Lopez checked and confirmed the green car was registered to Nathan Brooks. But she warned Lucas to be careful, there wasn't enough proof yet. Determined, Lucas went back to the park. As he searched near the lake, he found something else, a charm bracelet with a tiny daisy charm. It felt important, like another piece of the puzzle. That night, another creepy email arrived, this time with a photo of Sarah on their porch. Lucas was scared but angry. He wouldn't let fear stop him. The next morning, Sarah was moved to a safe place by the police. Officer Lopez called with news. The bracelet belonged to Lily Turner, Emily's friend, who'd gone missing after speaking out about Emily's death. Lucas's heart raced. Nathan wasn't working alone. He gathered all his clues, the keychain, the bracelet, Nathan's post, the emails, and sent them to Ms. Evans, hoping it would help Daniel. At the trial, Ms. Evans brought up Lucas's story. Judge Hensley allowed more investigation, though many doubted a kid's words. But as police dug deeper, they found evidence linking Nathan Brooks to Emily's death. The daisy keychain and bracelet tied him to both Emily and Lily. Nathan had been part of a group silencing anyone who knew too much about Emily's murder. Weeks later, the police arrested Nathan and his accomplices. At the trial's end, the jury found them guilty. The courtroom cheered as Nathan was led away in handcuffs. Officer Lopez praised Lucas. "You were braver than most adults. You helped uncover the truth." Sarah hugged him tightly, proud but shaken by the danger they'd faced. That summer, Lucas stood outside the courthouse, the sun warm on his face. He held the daisy keychain, a reminder of his courage. He was still just a kid, but he'd learned that even a small voice could make a big difference. The road ahead might be tough, but Lucas knew he'd always stand up for what was right.